Hi artsy duelists! Earlier this year I made this Chibi nib space rock token and a lot of you liked it. I made this one for myself for my own use when I have to drop in a friend, but I thought since so many of you were liking the design to have stickers made, and these have been available in my shop for a little bit, but today I thought it might be fun to show you how you can use one of your own extra tokens, like a scapegoat token or whatever you have on hand, and make your own Chibi nib token. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go! For starters, you're gonna want to get a token, and you're gonna want to see how your sticker fits on it. So right now you'll see, like with this guy, some of the goat is still showing. If you want to just put it on top, totally fine, totally can do that. But if you would like to remove that so it doesn't show from behind your sticker, then you can actually remove that with acetone. Any brand should work, but I just use 100% acetone. I get this in bulk off Amazon. I recommend anytime you're working with acetone, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. And then because this bottle is big, I normally pour a little bit into a glass container that you're going to want to make sure the lid is not plastic, that if it's affected by acetone. You can do a little test with that, but put it in there, and then that way you have a smaller container to actually work out of instead of the big bottle. Risk tipping that over, that'd be no good for anyone. And then use Q-tips or whatever, like you can use like any kind of cotton swab should work. And then just begin to gradually erase that scapegoat token. And you'll notice like the lighter colors are lifting here more easily than the darker colors. You can actually create some fun effects with that, because sometimes the lines will stick more so than other parts of the ink for whatever reason. And you can create some interesting kind of ghosting effects with it. But I will speed through this real quick and we will finish removing our scapegoat. I'll also mention, like on this one, I guess technically since the stickers cover quite a bit of it, I'm probably putting in more work than I need to. You really only need to remove the parts that are gonna be not covered up. But if you want to remove the whole thing, and like on this one it has kind of that pink border, you can do that as well. If you're worried about getting into the actual gray of the card and you want to be sure that you don't remove that part, then you can use an acetone resistant tape to block that off. My personal favorite is the Scotch gift wrap tape. It's the satin one, and that will resist the acetone. So let's get these little corners here cleaned off. I get asked a lot, especially in comments, about like how much pressure to apply when you're erasing things with acetone. You don't want to push too hard because you might dent the card. Obviously on a token like this it doesn't matter as much, but you still, you want your finished card to look nice. So I would recommend, instead of pushing hard, just being consistent. And then as you kind of go, rotate your Q-tip so that the parts that haven't been used yet, you can get that use out of. You might also notice I'm getting kind of like a little bit of a film built up here. If you don't like that, so like if we look here with our sticker, that will be visible. If you want to work all the way to the edge so that that film is gone, kind of that barrier where the ink is getting removed, then that would be when you'd want to tape off your card. And I think I am going to go ahead and do that on this one. And normally I don't have taping off the card on camera just because like I get my face real down close in there so that I can see what I'm doing. So pardon me while I get that done. Alright, so it is challenging to get that like perfectly lined up with the camera in your face, but what I do want to make sure you guys take away from it is when you are putting the tape down, if you decide to tape it off, make sure that you're going over and getting out any of those little air bubbles, like here, especially like in the corners, because the acetone will try to slip in there and then you'll have some bleed, and that's no fun. Alright, once we're taped off, we will reopen up our acetone. Do make sure that you're capping that between uses just so that you're not having it evaporate out into the air. Nobody needs extra acetone fumes. And we'll come in here and we'll just kind of clean up the rest of anything that we're wanting to remove. So like you can see here, as we kind of rotate our Q-tip, it's picking up that film that was building up. And the parts that are going to be covered by the sticker, I am less concerned about. There we go. All right, no more film. So now we will size up how our sticker is going to fit. Make sure everything's covered that we want covered. Yes, I'm happy with that. And these do come with like the halfway bend there so that you can remove just half of it and kind of get it lined up where you want before you peel off the rest and get it down. So make sure it's lined up where you want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my tape off so I don't overlap my tape. All that work getting that tape on. I'm like, I left the pink, but if you don't like the background, you can acetone that a little longer and get that removed. So I think that's where I want this one lined up. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it stick on the bottom to hold its spot and then peel off the rest of that backing and then just smooth it out nice and flat. And there we have our little space nib token. If you want to take it a little farther, you can go in and etch the foiling. If you're doing this on a super or an ultra rare especially, that'll show up nicely. Let's see, grab one of my X-Acto knives here. And you can just go in and give it a little extra detail, however you want to go about it. We'll just give him some little heat ripples coming off of him. Whee! And this is when it would be helpful to still have that tape on there as a bit of a barrier. Just like that. You can add in your little etchings. And then you can see that adds some fun additional visual texture to the card. Little flames coming off. And if you want to fill the whole space, that's totally okay. Or if you just want to do part of it and leave the rest as just the clean flat foil, that is also okay. It's your token, you do it however you want. Whatever you think will strike the most mixed emotion of fear and oh that's cute into your opponent when you summon this to their field. In my experience, when I've summoned this guy to my opponent's field, they were slightly less salty as a result. So once you have your design how you want it, there you are. A chibi nib ready for battle. Also makes a fun little gift for your friends. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Feel free to sleeve it up. If you like this sleeve, it's actually one of Sleeve Chief's original border sleeves. I do have an affiliate link for them on my link tree which is in my description. You can see their standard size, so you can double sleeve it for some extra protection. Anyway, I hope this was fun for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!